welcome here to the Men's Health Clinic. So, yeah, I know that you probably checked us out, on their website and stuff like that, but just regarding what we do, we are people who have been in the same situation as you, who probably doesn't have it very well right now, maybe a lot of things in the daily life, stress factors, stuff like that, Can also be you are depressed without knowing why, low testosterone without you knowing it, and stuff like that. That's why this clinic exists, to specialize in men's health. We have a women's health clinic as well, which is just on the other side of the building. It is just like, so we do specialize in both, but I'm here in the men's health department. Yeah. So I did read up on you with the things that you are experiencing, but I always want to hear stuff from the person who are suffering from these things, just to hear it in real life with his own words. Does that make sense? So I have my handy dandy little clipboard right here. So in your own words, how do you feel sitting there right now? You can also just start by from 1 to 10. So, yeah, explain a little bit about your current status. How do you feel right now? Okay. So, in your everyday life, how do you feel throughout the day, throughout your work week, or whatever you do? Totally understand. Yeah. I think a lot of us feels like that. It is just how severe it is, and also how much of a mental toll it takes on you, I think we are a lot of people who know the feeling that you are feeling right now, and probably have been feeling for a while. Okay, so that was just a little bit about your situation. I will just do some different things now, just to see if there's anything we can help you with, which I'm sure we can. So I just have my stethoscope right here. And I want to listen to your heart. So if you just lift up in your shirt, then I'll just listen. And yeah, it's fairly cold. That's very true. Can you turn around? Then I'll just listen to the back as well. just put your shirt down again. So I will just ask some follow-up questions. So how is your sex drive? Yeah, the libido. How about aggression? Do you ever get aggressive? Not like you used to, not in those situations that you used to. Do you feel it just like you have got your temperament under control? Or does it feel like you do not have the energy to waste to be aggressive? Okay. So do you exercise regularly or just at all? Strength training or anything like that? Okay. How do you think your strength is now compared to just like a couple of years ago? Has it regressed? About muscle mass? Okay, just another thing. What about appetite? Do you think about your diet at all? Do you think about getting some healthy foods down? Some healthy food sources, Or is it mostly just stuff that is pre-made, You don't take like whey protein or something like that. Okay, you don't really need to either. It's just to follow up. Okay, do you do anything for yourself? Anything good for yourself, or are you just getting by? Okay. I can see we see a lot of your cases actually. Yeah, we do. And that is mostly for people who are around my age, getting a little bit older, but not yet that old. But yeah, there comes a time in their life when they are not doing anything for themselves. They're just getting by, and just trying to do as good as they can. But when you're doing nothing for yourself, nothing good for yourself, then the people around you are not getting the best version of you, which is not fair for them, and especially not fair for you, because we do need a good version of you out there. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you. I do not hope it seems like that. I just want to acknowledge and let you know that you can actually do something good for yourself, and then the other people in your life will benefit from that as well. So even though you might take an hour away from them or something like that, then it will benefit them in the long run as well. And also in just like the short term, it can be very quick. I just want to see a little bit about how you do in some specific tests. People have a tendency, which are in your state as you are right now, to zone out a little bit and not have as good cognitive function as they should. So I want to test a couple of things there as well, especially with just different variation of stuff. So I'll do the first thing here. Just hold on for 1 second. I just have a LED candle right here. And the reason why I use this instead of a flashlight is because this is a little bit more soothing. It is not that harsh, and then you don't have to focus on not getting a headache and stuff like that, you know. So I'm just using this. And I want you to follow the light with your eyes, and that is mostly just to see a little bit of function, focus, and cognitive function as well. So if I just start up here, then you just need to follow the light. And by the light I just mean this right here, not all the things down here. So if you just follow it with the eyes, keep following it with the eyes. Do you have tendencies to zone out and just forget about what there was talked about and stuff like that? And yes, it's on purpose. I ask you questions while we do the test. Yeah, still just follow it with your eyes. Just follow it with your eyes. So. Well, that was not bad, especially not considering I was asking you a little bit of questions while we're doing it. So, not that bad, but yeah, this is not like a good or bad test. It's not like you get a grade, you know. It's mostly because we need to get the most accurate thing that we can on these tests, just to know what we exactly need to do so you can get better. Yeah, but of course we need you to do as good as you can, because that is what we are trying to test for. 1 second. So now I just try to touch you on your shoulder, and then just tell me how it feels. If it feels like I'm touching you in a hard way, or if it's just a soft touch, or gentle touch, so just touch you on your shoulder. Did that hurt in any way? Not like a bruise or something like that. Now I'll touch you on the front of your shoulder. How did that feel? A little bit more. Yeah. I will try to use this on you just for like 10 seconds. So if you just take down your shirt, then I will try to desensitize the area to see it's something we do for the nervous system, just to check something. So I just try to desensitize the area with this. So I just scrape here, just for 10 seconds on the area. Not hard or anything like that, as you feel. Just very soft. So now I just try to touch again on the area. How does that feel? You don't even feel it now. Okay. The thing I try to see is something with the nervous system. If you have an overactive nervous system, then they can feel just like the most gentle touch, and just a cold breeze or something like that on the muscle. Then it can just feel like a small attack. But when we get a lot of blood flow out to the area, just like with this, where I just try to desensitize the area for just like 10 seconds, then you have a lot of blood in the area. And that is just to see if the nervous system by getting some blood flow out to the area. It can actually just be aware of the area is active. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. It's just something that we use for our tests. I'll just put this away. But the thing is, when you have an stressful time, if you're stressed and feel a lot of anxiety and stuff like that, which is something I feel like you do, then you will get an overactive and overprotective nervous system, which will not benefit you in that regard. It's good to have a nervous system which are aware of danger. So if something burns you, then you will get a pain response to your brain, and that tells you to let go of the burning area if it was something that burned you, and you put your hand on something that burns. That's a good thing with the nervous system, and a good response, pain response. But when you have an overactive nervous system, which is trying to actually just protect you, it's just the brain that's trying to protect you, then you can tense up for long periods of time. You can feel a little bit more stressed, and you can also feel pain in situations which is not dangerous or with something that should not afflict pain. So that is why I test this, and it's very important for us to know. So I hope that you see what we're saying about this. Of course. So you can see my shirt right here. I am a certified nurse as well, a male nurse. So I will actually just use this syringe on you. Take a little blood sample, just to test your testosterone, but not just your testosterone levels. We will test a lot of different vitamins and mineral levels in your blood as well, and a lot of different factors, just normal health factors, just to see how it is actually going, what is going on inside the body as well, not just the brain. And so that's very important for us as well. So I'll just open this syringe. And if you just sit still, how do you feel about needles? It's okay. Yeah. So this is just need a couple of milliliters of blood just for us to test it. So I'll just put a needle on here. A fresh needle, of course. We are that kind of place, And I'll just wrap this around your arm and just bind it a little bit tight. I don't know if it's too tight, but it has to be a little bit tight. I'll just see if I can find a vein which is quite visible. So I just tap a little bit to get some blood out of the vein. Now I'll just take a couple of milliliters of blood. I'll just put the syringe back. And now I don't have the sample, so I just put this aside. For safekeeping, we need to store it in a special fridge. So I'll just put it aside, so just 1 second. Okay, so how do you feel? Still somewhat relaxed and not too tensed up due to that? Great. So now I will just test something with the hearing as well. It is not something that we have to test just for you to feel better, but it is just something for us to like to have in our notes. So we are just doing like a full checkup, just to see. I know there's these like cranial nerve exams, they're quite popular to actually do. This is not a cranial nerve exam, but we do take some parts from the cranial nerve exam into this one, because there are some good tests for this as well. The blood sample before was also just to test about your testosterone. If you need some testosterone, then we can get that for you as well. Yeah. So I just have this device right here. This is just a vibration tool. So when I do like this, then you can hear the vibrations. Then I would just go from one side to the other side, and when it stops, then say when it stops. Correct. I'll just start again. And when does it stop? Correct. Correct. It has this end on it as well. It can make sounds with these, but with this end here, I can just put it on some specific parts of the body, and then you will feel the vibration. I tried to test some nervous system stuff with you on your shoulders. Now I'll just test from one side to the other side how the feeling is and what your sensation is. So just let me do this. So now just put this on your head right here. Can you feel that clearly? Okay. Now the other hand. Is it the same? You can feel? Now on one shoulder. And the other shoulder. Did it hurt a little bit more on that shoulder? Yeah. And that is also one of the things that we are looking into, is it should not hurt getting a vibration tool set on you, you know. It is not something that should inflict pain. So the reason why I am also a little bit concerned is just because it should not hurt. But I do think it's just about the overactive nervous system. But it is just a little bit interesting why it is one shoulder that is a little bit more inflicted of pain than the other shoulder, you know, and also the hands. You did not feel any pain in your hands, did you? No. I can just see you squint your eyes a little bit when we do the test on that shoulder, so I also want to look a little bit into that. I know that might not be the men's health related, just like, you know, with testosterone regarding and stuff like that, but it's also very nice to have in our notes if we need to get you over to another place to get tested if there's something that you need physical treatment for as well, like that. Like a surgery or something like that, but I do not think it's something that you need to get surgery for. But yeah, now I just did that test. So I do hope that this is not anything that is intimidating for you or something that you find you don't find it comfortable, You need to be comfortable in here, even though that we do these tests, because we're here for you, Well, we did a lot of tests. We have a lot of notes on you, and now we also do have the blood sample. So I think one of the things that is mostly of our interest is very much the blood sample. When we get that back in a couple of weeks, then we can just try to piece 2 and 2 together, Just like the notes that I'm taking today about your situation, about the tests, but also with the blood sample, if you have low testosterone, high estrogen, or something like that, which is something that happens with age, but we need to see if it is something that is happening a little bit too fast and a little bit too, something that shouldn't happen that much yet, I do have a feeling of you having a little bit low of testosterone, and that is nothing to be ashamed of. It is just your body which reacts on age, stress, a lot of different factors, diet, lack of exercise, and just life in general. So there's a lot of genetic factors in it as well, but also a lot of things that you can do. So if we see there is low testosterone, then we have a lot of things that you can do yourself naturally without having synthetic testosterone. So I think that in a lot of countries, I think there's testosterone is quite hard to get, and they will not give testosterone to patients. They rather give like 10 different kind of medicines or something like that, to try to get what testosterone could actually achieve with just one medication, which is just like synthetic testosterone. But I do think that the best you can do is just try to do it as good as you can naturally. Also, if you miss some vitamins and minerals, there's just a lot of stuff that we need to get checked first. Especially if you can just do it yourself with training, diet, getting some good sleep and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that you can actually do yourself, but it's just like one step at a time. It's not like everything at once, because that would be too much. You might already have an overactive nervous system, so we just need to do something good for you, your body, and everyone around you, So let's say if you need some exercise, then if you hate strength training and you find it anxious, if you find yourself anxious to go into a gym, then you will do some exercise that you actually enjoy, or places that you enjoy to do, stuff like that. So we do everything with you, and then we'll just evaluate from time to time. And of course, this is just something that we do with the government, so you need to pay us no money. The government has found out it is better to have a healthy person than a not healthy person in society. Due to work demand force, can actually work, do not use that much money in healthcare in the long run. And it's just like something like we do right now. It is just an expense for the government, but they have found out that it is something that is good for them in the long run, because some of the most expensive things we can have in society is unhealthy people, and it is not your fault. I think the governments and just in general, it has not been good at looking at health in that regard, and they have seen now that they need to care a little bit more about health. So that is why these kind of establishments has come up to help men and women. So I will just evaluate, and you will get a letter on your next appointment, and you will not get your results. We will deliver the results to you, so we can talk to you about that the next time. So I'll probably see you in a couple of weeks. Stay healthy.